right, everybody. Third time's the charm, I hope. Did I lose you all? Make you dizzy on that last video? So last time when I lost you, I was trying to zoom in a little bit, and I don't know what I did, but I messed it up and completely lost us. So I'm gonna stick with where we are. Hopefully that's close enough. If not, I'll figure out how to maybe move the arm down, but we'll give it a go. How's that sound? Hi, Bridget. Hi, Patty. And Bridget, I saw your comment right before I messed up on that other one. Yes, that is a best dad ever. I am back, Kimmie. Sorry. It's been a really crazy day. That's the way it goes sometimes, you know? So anyway, who's ready to color? I'm ready to color. Hi, puppies. Yeah. What would my videos be if we didn't hear them barking in the background, right? So, yeah, Bridget, I don't usually keep my Copics in the best dad ever mug, but for our color alongs, I find that it's easier. You should be able to zoom by pinching and spreading with your fingers. That's what I tried to do, and suddenly everything went crazy. We can try again. I guess if I have to zoom out, I'll zoom out. So pinch in to zoom in. Okay, so we're gonna try it. Pinching. Last time it like took me to somebody weird page, and no, I don't want to do that. It says pin comment. Yeah, it's just not working. You guys, I hope that works. Let's see. Maybe I can drop this down a little bit. Is that better? Oh, good, Chris. You're going to color with me. I'm glad to see that. You can zoom in, then you can't zoom out. I know, it's like there's no happy medium sometimes, but I'm waiting for the video to catch up, so spread out to zoom in. Oh, whoops, well, no wonder it wasn't working. Let's see how this looks. I adjusted it a little bit. Is that a little better? Let's give it a go, shall we? So we're gonna color the fun, this beautiful mermaid. I really wanted to color Sabrina's new little mermaids, but I know that so many of you don't have them yet, so I'll wait and save that for another time. They're so fun to color. Today, since we were in sort of a sea theme this month, I thought it would be fun to color the mermaid. Plus, I love to practice on her hair. I'm not the best at it, but it's so much fun to practice at, so I thought we would give it a go. This is what I did the other night. But, excuse me, today's, I decided after I looked at it last night that it would be more fun. Yes, I'm back, Sheila. I thought it would be fun to change up her hair color because this is the background that I made for her with the She Sells Seashells. Ah, I did it. Don't ask me to do it 5 times fast because there's no way. But this She Sells Seashells stencil, which I absolutely love. I just grabbed a random piece of this blue paper that I had laying on my desk and thought, well, it'd be fun to try some multicolors on there. So I used the Nouveau, I guess you say it, Glacier Paste. The top color is Green Envy, and the middle color is, what color is it? Golden Era. And the bottom color is Sea Sprite. And I got all of these from Kraftin Kimmie's Shop the Box, and I had only used the golden before, so I'm finding excuses to use some of my goodies. This stuff's really fun to play with. It's like butter. It just spreads so cool. So anyway, you can hardly see, maybe I'll move it up a little bit. This is the Sea Sprite, and it's against this blue background. It's almost more of a clear shimmery color. So I thought it would be fun to color up our mermaid with red hair. So I instead of doing the purple, and I think I put the red colors out there, we're gonna do red hair on the mermaid, and I think that will go well with the colors in the background. So, oh, I did it, yay. Yeah, you know, small pleasures for sure, right, Bridget? So let's get started. I'm going to color my skin like I usually do. That tends to be my starting point. And somebody asked me a while ago why I colored skin first, and my reasoning, I hadn't really thought about it at the time, but then my reasoning behind that was that if I should mess up the skin, since I've only started it, at least I haven't wasted my whole image. So I like to start the skin first, and then if something goes awry, then I can, ouch, and then I can scrap it if I need to and start over. Although it's really hard for me to scrap stuff. I usually try to see what I can do. There's only a few of this awesome stamp set in stock, so great. And Chris is coloring along with me tonight, so I'm super happy about that. 4 of them actually, Kimmie says. Hi Danielle. So let's get started. I start with my EO4, and I'm just gonna, I got little sparkles on everything. Let's see here. So I'm gonna start with just laying down a little tiny bit of the color, the EO4, in the spots that might have a little bit of more shading. So on the side of her face, a little bit over here. My hands are shaky tonight. It always takes me a little bit of time to get it going again. Color in this part. And generally I color sort of in bigger, like I go all one color and then I go back and do the other color. You color skin last because I'll have oh. I know sometimes it looks so dark and weird until you add the other colors. You think you've messed it up, but so I'm gonna leave her stomach and the lower parts of her to do second, because I don't want my darkest color to dry too fast while I'm working my way down. So that was the EO4, and then I go to E11, and I just go over the top of what I've done before and then extend it a little bit more. I'm going to keep turning it a little bit. It's easier for me if I turn it. I'll try not to whip it around too fast and make anybody dizzy. Put a tiny bit under her nose and a little bit on the side, maybe a little bit more around her eye. Shoot, I kind of filled that in a little too much, but we'll see if it comes out okay. She might look like she has a sleeve on, hopefully not. Alright, and then my next color combo is E21. I'm going to start here before this gets too dry. Normally I wouldn't, but because I kind of messed up and made that a solid line, I want to fill it out a little bit. So this time I'm not going completely over the other color, but just, you know, a little bit kind of on the outer edge. A little bit into it, but a little bit more into the middle of her face this time. And again, just ever so lightly there. Okay, and then my last skin color usually is E00. So we'll add that one. And this time I'm going to kind of pull from all the places I've been in, and I'm just gonna kind of work toward her face. I don't want to completely undo the dark that I did, but I can always go back in. Oops, looks like I got in her eye. Colorless blender to the rescue. Let's see if we can move that out of there before it gets too dry. What would we do without the colorless blender, right? Alright, so moving some more color into her face. around her nose where we gave it just a tiny bit of definition. And then we'll move down to her arm. And it's more difficult with the, as the images, the portions of the images get small. I got a little heavy-handed with my EO4 there. Like I said, I was a little shaky. But it'll blend in, and if it's a little darker, it's okay. She's a mermaid with a suntan, right? So we'll just kind of fill that in. And then we can move down and do the rest of her skin tone. So, and if I need to, I can go back over again in the areas where I feel like maybe I've lost the shading that I wanted to have in there, and I don't want it to be super dark. So we'll start over again. I'm just going to kind of pick up where I left off, maybe just a little bit more in there. I'm trying to be a little more careful this time. And when I get down to the fingers, I don't usually do a lot of the EO4 because it's so hard to be defined on those. Hi, Elizabeth. Oops, let's see, wrong color. I need 21. Nope, I need 11. There we go. We're going to do 11 first, then 21. All right, so let's just pick this up. I'm just going to leave the little crook of her arm a little bit darker. Then we'll do E21. And last we'll go to EOO. And we'll kind of fill that in. And I'm going to hope that it gets a little lighter in there, but we'll see. You can always, kind of wait and move it out a little bit with your colorless blender. I've done that before where I just kind of swoosh it really quick and pick it up and then move it out a little bit and scrape it off on my paper on the side, but I think it'll be okay. So then we'll go and let's do her other arm. I'm going to turn it on you a little bit here. Tummy. What a figure this lovely lady has, huh? Must be all those water aerobics that she does. Okay. And then we'll go with our E11 and fill in the next level. And with this again, so the E11, I'm going more over the top of the EO4 because I don't want it to be too drastically dark. Gonna do her belly button. And so just kind of the tips of her fingers. And then we're gonna go to E21. Same idea, but this time I don't go quite as much over where I've been with the 11 and the 4. I just kind of try to pick it up a little along the edge and bring it in some more. I've been trying different color combos for skin. I like lately the E53, hi Lori, the E53 51-50 combo. I find that sometimes it's a little light, it just depends on the image, but I like that one. And then the other day I accidentally grabbed, so now I'm doing E0. The other day I accidentally grabbed E34, I didn't have my reading glasses on. So I grabbed E33, I guess it was, instead of E53 in one of the areas that I wanted to be really dark. And then I grabbed E31, I think. And then I grabbed my E50, so it was sort of a weird combo, but I was able to blend it out. And actually I was kind of surprised that the E30s, I was surprised actually that it didn't turn out as bad as I thought it might. So it's kind of fun to experiment. For suntan skin, I like E13, E11, and E02, I think. No, E21. That's what I do for suntan skin. Alright, so that did blend out pretty okay. So we'll let her tummy dry. See how strange it is? Like you look at this and you think, holy cow, that's dark. But it does blend out, thankfully. A couple of my markers I think might be a little dry. So let's give her some blush. I should have done that while her face was wet. That's okay. So we're just going to fill in some color. I'm not going to be too precise about it. How we doing, Chris? Am I doing it at a pace that you're able to color along with me? I know it's hard to color an answer, so I'll give you a little bit to say so. And then I'm just kind of filling in, smoothing out where I put the blush in, giving her another little coat of the E00. Blending in and around. And I would like to give her just a tiny bit more color up here along her part. So I'm going to use E11. And I'm just barely going to swoosh in there, just a little bit. I don't want it to be super dark, but I just want to give it a little more color. Maybe just right under her bikini line though. It's really bugging me how that's not blending. I don't know what's going on there. You're keeping up so far. Awesome. I'm just going to swoosh this over and smooth it out a little bit. I don't know what's happening with that marker, why it's so spotty. Okay, so, and I can go back over if I need to after it dries. So that's why I say I usually do skin first. I think let's do, because her hair is going to be red, which is such a bold color, we'll do it last, because it seems like, since I'm not a super precise colorer sometimes, I tend to bleed into the other colors a little bit because I'm, not real light-handed sometimes. So right now I'm just kind of smoothing out a little bit of this. So with the E00, just give it a little bit more of that smoothness. So we'll do that color last, but I think let's do the tail. And for her tail, I used a BG13, a BG23, and a BG11. That happened, I know, isn't that crazy? I actually know that my C series markers and my N markers are real gunky, and I need to change the tips out. So when I was thinking about what to color, I decided I should probably not pick something that uses one of those, but I didn't realize that I'm pretty sure it's that last color that I probably need to fix of that E00. Looks like I got it a little bit there. So let's go ahead and color the tail. And I started with, I kind of did a gradient. I did this green to blue kind of gradient. So I thought, we'll try that again. And I'm going to start actually with the G's. So I'm going to start with the YG06. And I'm going to turn this just so I can get it where I need it to be. Hopefully I'm still in frame for you guys. I'm trying to look up every so often so that you can tell me if I get out of whack here, if my hand's in the way and you can't see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to lay down some of this super, super saturated bright green. I actually really love this green color. And then, while it's still really good and wet, I'm going to grab my YG13 and I'm going to blend down kind of quickly. I'm going to grab it, go over it, grab it and pull it down. And I'm going back where that was, just so it doesn't look like there's too drastic of a dip, but I might end up and go over that again. Okay, so, and I'm coming down just a little on the side. Thank you, Bridget. Let's see, so then YG11, because I want to catch it again while it's still pretty wet and able to blend more. So I'm kind of keeping it lighter, a little lighter in the middle, pulling the color down and in. The thing I love about coloring mermaids is all the different combos of their tails and their hair. That's like my favorite part, I think, really. Let's see, then we're going to start with the blue. We're going to work the blue gradient going the other direction. So this is BG11. Whoops. There's, turn it around so you can see it. And this, I'm pulling it over the top of the green a little bit. And then I may end up going back in with the green again, we'll see. But just to get it kind of in there so that it blends together more. So I'm bringing that in. And then I'm going to grab my green again and just give a little bit more. That's still wet. There we go. Then I'm going to jump to the BG13. Wait a sec, I can't remember which one's darker, 13 or 23. I gotta test it here. I think it might be 23 I do next. Yep, 23 is my next one. So I actually found this one at Hobby Lobby the other day. I didn't have this color before. I was kind of excited. I was like, ooh, wow, a new color for me, a BG13. They didn't have their markers on sale, unfortunately. Or BG23. So let's see. That was BG23. Then I'm going to come back in again with the 11 because I want it to blend a little more. And it's okay again if I come into the green a little bit because we're trying to create kind of that movement, if you will, the blending. And then I'm going to jump to the last color, which is the BG13. And I'm going to blend it down. I got to turn this a little bit. Grab it. That's quite a bit darker. So we're going to grab it from this direction. Pull up a little bit. We'll go along the edge. And then we're going to grab the 23 again. Oops, goodness. Blend that in. And let's see here. Oops. Where's my colorless blender? Let's see here. There it is. I saw this video. I can't remember where I was watching it, but somebody, they were using their colorless blender, and when they would have like a big boo-boo like this, they'd use their colorless blender, then they'd turn on their heat gun really fast, and they would blow it on top of the colorless blender so that it would dry it faster and push the color in a little quicker. And actually I think that's an awesome idea, especially like red, when you're trying to move red out of the way and blow on it. And it just, then it kind of spreads out, blossoms out kind of pink sometimes, which is kind of weird. Let's see, so I think we'll do one more quick blend of the BG11. And then I'm just playing, just until I feel like I really like what it looks like. Isabel, you can wait. You don't need to go outside right this second. So that's BG, whatever that was, 11. And now I'm going to come back in with my YG11. Just one more time. And again, I'm just kind of playing. To resaturate that a little bit. A bit greener. I can fix about anything. Yeah, I'd like to say I can fix about anything. I cover up a lot of my mistakes with dots, enamel dots. I love enamel dots. They're like my favorite thing to have on hand. Because not only are they absolutely so fun to play with, they're so great for putting strategically in different places so people don't know that you're covering up a boo-boo. Now you probably all know. Every time you look at a dot, you're going to wonder what I covered up. I will never tell. Okay, so tail. What I did with the tail is I continued the blue and went to green. So we're going to start with our darkest again. And we're going to come in the middle. And I'm just just gonna kind of feather it this time. I'm gonna try to work with my color going up a little bit too, which is kind of a trick for me. So that's my BG 13. Turn it around so you can see. And then BG 23 again. So we're going to blend up over the top of what I just did. Coming in a little bit more. There we go. And I went a little further than I intended. I was focusing, but that's okay. So then here's the BG 11. So we're going to have the lighter on the, kind of in the middle there. So I'm going to go over the top of what I've done before. I'm going to keep this a little darker for the green, so I'm not going to go too far down that way. Thanks, Kim. Let's see, what am I missing? Greens. Now I start with the greens. So the next color then would be my YG06. And I'm going to grab her from the bottom here because I do want the bottom to be darker than the top. So I'm just going to kind of grab that. And I'm going to grab it in here a little bit. I'm not going to go as much on the green, or the darker green there. Then I made this mermaid with the shaker card. Oh, I bet she loved it, Sheila. I bet she loved it. That's awesome. Little girls and mermaids, boy, I'll tell you what. My daughter, when she's 20 now, but when she was a little girl, she loved the Little Mermaid so much. I think she still could probably quote you every single song, many lines out of the show. I'm going to go into my blues. Well, first let's do the green. Oops. I hate when I open the wrong end. Okay, so the lightest green now on the tip. I'm blending in because I want it to be lighter. And then I'm going to pull the green down. So I'm going to come down with the green. And I'm just going to keep moving that back a little bit because it's my wettest color, so I can work with it a little bit more. And it's okay if it doesn't blend perfectly, but I kind of like that. I think I'll grab the, thank you, Elizabeth. Then I think I'll grab, this is my, what am I using? BG11 again. And coming back through a little bit more, just smoothing my blues out a little bit. There we go. I kind of like how she looks. What do you guys think? That spot right there just doesn't seem to want to fill in. So I have to keep going over it. It would be fun too. You just mailed it today. Oh, that's so awesome. I remember I used to send my son a bunch of cards, like so many. Looks good so far. You almost bought her this weekend. Oh, shoot. Well, Kim said there's only 4, Danny, so you may have to have her wiggle her tail and jump into your cart while there's some left, because she is so fun to color. Absolutely so fun. Where was I going with my story, though? I get distracted by all your great comments. Oh, my son. So I used to make him, like, cards all the time, and then when he was in college, and then when he was dating his girlfriend, and they were together, living together for a while before they got married, and finally one day he says, you know, Mom, he says, I love your cards so much. I absolutely love your cards. He said, but Mom, I have so many of them and we just don't have a whole lot of space and I can't throw them away. He said, but could you maybe not make me so many cards? So I have to admit, I was a tiny bit heartbroken, but I kind of got it because, I mean, I was constantly sending him cards. He has a box of them. I mean, he's 27, I think. And he has all of the cards I've given him. So I think it's so awesome. I love to send little kids cards. So when I know of people that want to have cards for the little kids, I'm like all over that. All right, so, thank you. Thank you for the blending comments. I really like how this is turning out. It's kind of fun. It's a little different. Here's the one from before. Close, I guess, right? So let's do I got to do the blue parts and her swim top. And so for that, I started with the BG13 and came in at the point with the darkest. And we'll just fill this in. Can you guys hear my dog's panting? She's so excited. She got to come in from outside. She goes outside and she just tells the world who's the boss. I'll tell you what, she's funny that way. Little dogs are quite funny.
Do any of them want a dog?
Yeah, my husband wants to know if any of you want a dog. No, I wouldn't share them, even though they drive me crazy sometimes. So then I'm coming in with the BG23 and just pulling that out a little bit. It's a pretty small space, so we don't need to do a lot. And then I'm going to quickly come back with the BG11, I think. Yep, that's the one. And I'm going to fill that in, coming from the opposite direction. Give a little bit of highlight, hopefully. There we go, from the edges in, edges in. So now you can see that her skin doesn't look quite as dark. You can send you cards. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, isn't that great? I know, it's funny, like my family, they don't make cards and they think it's an insult to send me a store-bought card, really. My kids, Brooklyn, my daughter, the last two Mother's Day actually made me, oh thanks Kim, yeah I like this color combo a lot too. She's actually made me little Mother's Day booklets, which are really awesome, but they're funny. My brother-in-law had a birthday tail end of June, and we took the gift out, and I had run out of time and hadn't made him a card. So I just gave him his gift, you know, and he kept digging in the package, and I said, well, that's all there is. That's all you got. Sorry. And he said, well, where's my card? And I was like, I didn't get you a card. And he said, you didn't make me a card this year? He said, he was just really kind of like hurt. And so I felt really bad. I did not realize that he really liked my cards that much and that meant that much to him. So I'm going to make him a belated birthday card with the walrus where it says, did I miss your birthday, Tusk, Tusk? And then hopefully he'll be happy. So we'll see. All right, so we have her beautiful outfit and her tail. We have her skin. Let's do her starfish. And I had in the video, Chris, I apologize because I'm kind of switching gears on you color-wise. But I decided that since I am going to color her hair red, this may not stand out as much in this corally color, so I switched it to yellow. I'm going to do like a yellowish color for the starfish. So what I decided to switch that to, if you have the colors, and it doesn't matter, maybe you want to do purple or whatever, I'm going to use the E99, and E35 works well too if you have it, Chris, since you're coloring along. E19 and Y13, or I'm sorry, Y19 and Y13. So let's see, let me put these in order for you. So I have an E99, a Y19, and a Y13. If you have like an E35, a Y15, Y11, something along that line, just to get kind of the color. So have all your Copics beside you. Great. That's awesome. All right, so let's see. So I start out with this. It's kind of a, I don't know, I kind of stumbled upon it. I kind of like how it looks. So I'm starting with the E99, which is kind of an orangey brown color. And I'm just going to fill in along the edges, the bottom edges of each little starfish arm. And around the eyes a little bit. Oops, well, I guess I'll just fill in the eyes since I boo-booed that up. And then I take the Y19. Oh, he gave you back all the cards. Oh, that's so nice that he saved them, though. You know, that is the hard part. I save every card I get to from people. I have a huge box of them. I'm loving the pen pal exchange that Allison, Crafty Girl Allison, has been kind of heading up for us. I absolutely love getting cards from all of you. It's so much fun to get the different cards and everything. So this is E19, and I'm trying to kind of go over what I did with the E9. I'm sorry, I keep saying E. Y19. I'm trying to kind of go over what I did with the E99. And that looks really dark, but we'll see how it turns out. Then, oops, doggone it. See, the reason I put them in the cup, Bridget, really is because in theory, if I leave them in the cup, I put them in the way that the coloring tip is out, so that when I pull it out of the cup, I have the right end, but once I get done and lay them on the table, I inevitably grab the wrong end. I don't know why. So this is Y-E-Y-E-Y-E-Y-O. This is the Y13, which is my brighter yellow, and I'm going to come over everything now. I'm just going to go over everything I just did. His eyes are really bugging me. I may have to use my copic, my colorless blender. We'll see. Maybe we'll just leave it, give him some character. So I'm just going over everything. So it's kind of pulling in some of the dark spots. So it's kind of like that skin combo where it seems really dark and then it kind of settles in. Yeah, the pen pal swap is so fun. I like that we, you know, put notes in too. Because I used to, like when I was little, my grandma and I used to, I still have a big box of letters from my grandma that we used to send letters every week back and forth to each other. And I think that's really a lost art in some ways. So, all right, so there's our little starfish. Now we can do her hair. And I'm a little nervous about this. I'm going to tell you now. I'm not exactly sure how this is going to turn out because I've only done this red combo one other time. And but we're going to try it, right? That's what the fun of this is to see how things turn out. You made a homemade card art book. Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah, that's a really good idea. That way you can flip through it more often. It is fun. I pull my boxes down every so often and just kind of look through them. I leave them displayed for a while in my craft room, and then when I get so many, I kind of swap them out. But okay, let's do our red hair color. So I'm going to start with my very darkest color, which is my E09. And I'm only going to put a teeny tiny bit of it down first. And then later I might go back over it again just to kind of see where it is. So what I'm doing with the E09 is I'm just kind of touching spots that I think, in my mind, would be the darker areas of her hair. So where her hair bends, and again, I am not a master colorer, but you know, just this is my thought process that I share with you, because I love to hear, you know, why people do what they do. So I'm just coming in so close to her body. I can envision that perhaps her hair is a little darker in the nooks and crannies. And I may get quiet for a minute while I focus on what I'm doing here. Haley, stop licking. Isabel, stop licking. Okay, so there's a couple spots. I'm going to go over here, under her chin a little bit. This is so dark that I'm just being kind of careful. And then after I lay down the next color, then I can kind of see if I want to go in again a little, you know, in a couple of places. But for now, I'm just kind of hitting some of the spots. So around the starfish, I can envision that it's darker, right? And there as well. We'll just kind of carry that out. Okay, and then down just a little bit here. There's another little spot where I can think that maybe it might be darker. Not being super careful again. I'm still a little shaky. I'm not sure why. Sorry you're in and out. Oh, that's okay, Kim. No problem. Oh, I'm so excited that you're working on the Crafty Retreat classes stuff. So excited about that. That's just going to be so much fun. It's fun. It's going to be fun to teach it. It's going to be so fun to be part of it. I know that we've just all really worked on wanting it to be a super awesome experience for you guys. So, all right, let's see here. And the trick again is not to get too crazy. I just got to see where I'm going to end up. Got to turn her around a little bit here. Go back in her under her chin just a little, around her face a bit, and then close to her body. I don't want to be too dark because I don't want it to blend into her skin, and I probably might have got a little too dark or close. We'll see what happens there. Just a little bit here. And down here, get some darker spots down at the bottom. Let's see, right here maybe. Definitely right there. Thank you, Patty. Let's see here. Let's give her just a bit more there, maybe around there. And then her part. I'm not going to go too much into her part until we add some other colors. Like I said, I'm a little nervous because this is not a color combo that I've practiced in front of people before, but I just thought it would really pop against that background that I did. So, all right, well, let's see, let's go there. Okay, and then after we add a little color in some other spots, I will go back in at the end and then pull some of the darker colors in at the bottom. Let's do this. I'm going to have a little bit more around her face maybe. There we go. Okay, so that was EO9. Now, oops, let's see, let's do this one. I feel like it needs a little swoosh. All right, and maybe over here. Okay, I'll let you catch up for a sec, see where I'm at. So the next color would be that I'm going to use is, yeah, I hope it turns out, Bridget. I hope it turns out. The next color I'm going to use is, I was trying to decide. I put E18 on my list, but 19 is a little redder. I'm not sure if it's too red. Let's see what that E18 looks like. So that brings a little more of the brown, but this brings in a little more of the lighter color. I think I'm going to use the E19. So I may end up going over in just the very darkest spots with the 18 at the end, but I'm going to grab E19 next, and I'm going to just pick up a little bit more, just a little bit more, where I already went through with my EO9. Just a little bit, not a ton. Just kind of connecting some lines, extending out the color a little bit. Let's bring this in just a hair and down. We'll color that in. Looks like we forgot it last time. That's okay, we'll just fill it in now. She's got a tiny bit there, she's got a little bit there, we did her part. Talking to myself, I'm sorry about that. Let's see here. Extend a little there, let's see, did I miss a spot? Maybe a little. Okay. So hair like this, you have to really keep turning, because the thing that I have found when I'm coloring hair is that when I'm trying to force my hand in an unnatural motion, it just doesn't turn out as well. And hair, for me, I have a definite way that I like to go, a direction or a way that I like to move really more than any other. So I spin it quite a lot when I'm doing the hair. And let's see here. Looks kind of like a mess right now, doesn't it? Thanks, Danny. Yeah, it's looking kind of rough at the moment, but we are getting there. Trust me. Trust me, she says. Okay, let's see here. So we're just again pulling in a little more of that color. I'm just going to come around the corner. I'm going to leave that part. I'm going to come in here a little bit. Come down a little bit. Yeah, I am always interested to watch how people color. I love to pick up different ideas, techniques. It's just interesting too to know how people do things. Sometimes you have like these huge aha moments, like, oh my gosh, I've been doing it the hard way forever. All right, so I think I'll leave that alone and see what our next one looks like as I swoosh another one in there. So the next color in this combo then would be a YR24. And this is going to bring a little tiny bit of a yellowy brown color into her. And again, I'm going to kind of pick up and go over where we were. And again, I'm not being super precise about where we are. I'm trying to... You know, I should have maybe done it in sections. I know a lot of people do when they're doing this amount of hair, because then it does get harder for it to blend as it sits. But, you know, it's okay. Hair has different hues for sure. So I'm going to bring in, and we want to leave some of the lighter, or darkers, I mean, real dark areas. And I get a spinner a little bit. Alright, this is the part that's tricky, is around her hands, so I'm going to try to be a little more careful. And I may want to come in after the fact and fill in some of this stuff that's closer to her body. We'll see. We'll just see how it turns out after we get the first layer down. We may very much want to add, I may very much want to add a little bit more dark in, but we'll see. We'll see. She's not looking as red as I thought she would quite yet, but we'll go over a second time and fill in. I was afraid she'd be so dark haired that we wouldn't see any of the light stuff in there. Okay, so there's that color. Then the next level would be YR15. And actually, I think before I do YR15, because I have left more gaps than I thought I might in there, first I'm just going to swoosh in just a little bit. Swooshing, I mean seriously, just swooshing, 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 swooshing. That really looks like a mess, doesn't it? Okay. Then we're going to come back in and we're going to do another round of the other colors. So back to our EO9, and this time we're going to go from the bottom. Fill in all those spaces that we were just in. And I this time work a bit more in a section. So let's try that and see how that turns out, just because I didn't do it last time and I'm not sure how it'll be. So we'll do this section here, just to here. Okay, then let's grab our let's see, last time I did the E19. Let's do the E18 this time because it is a little bit more of the brown and we have a lot of the orangey stuff going on. So let's just grab the E18 and we're just going to kind of pull that over the top of a lot of what we did. I have no idea how this is going to turn out, you guys, but we're just playing. Okay, that section I didn't get my E09 in there, so better probably get that in there. Okay, then let's grab our YR24 and pull in some of that, what we just did. We're going to go over the top of that. And grab our E09. I'm going to give it a chance to dry a little bit because it's starting to freak me out how dark it looks. What are you thinking, Chris? How's it looking on your end? And then I'm going to take this YR15 again. Oh, it's really dark, isn't it? All right, I'll just keep working in sections. You go back up here to my E09. Come back in around your face. Let's see, I'm going to catch up on comments for a sec. Oh, it is getting hard. I agree. I agree. And Danny, I hear you completely. I totally understand. I feel you. So yeah, it's really dark, but I think we're okay. We're just going to keep kind of seeing what happens. So this is the E18 again. It was funny because I was afraid I was going to make her too light, and now I might have her pretty dark, but I think it's going to look okay. So that was the 18. We're going to do 24 again. Bring in some of that. Oh yeah, that's going to be fine. So she's pretty dark toward the bottom, but that's all right. Okay. All right, now I'm going to spin her and let's work. I'm going to work upside down a little bit so I can just kind of see what the heck I'm doing here. I'm going to start with my 18 at the bottom. So I don't know if you can tell by watching me, but moving this hair this way rather than trying to force my flicks up works so much easier for me. And I should have been paying a little bit more attention to that. And I'm going to go down this way though. Alright, so now I'm just getting a little more brave and I'm flicking in a little more of the darker so that I can blend it in a little better. I'm going to turn her around and then I'm going to work with what I just did. So that was E18, so I'm going to put a little tiny bit of the E09 in there this time again. That's from the very bottom. I'm going to turn her. Okay, then let's bring in the YR24. Let's blend over the top of what we just did. Pull all those colors together. Right about now I'm thinking I should have stayed with purple. Nah, it's going to be fine. Definitely a whole different, we're just going to pretend that the light source is coming from this direction on her hair because that's just the way it looks. And then, let's see, now we'll work from the top of her hair. Let's see here. What I'm doing now is just kind of filling in some more of the darker parts because I just feel like they're kind of lost in the shuffle right now. I'm just going to get a little bit more in there. Hair looks amazing. Oh, thanks, Kim. I feel like I'm really struggling. I find myself holding my breath while I'm doing this because I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm not sure it's turning out the way I wanted, but this is okay. It's an experiment. So I'm going to turn her this way so that I can work on her part a little bit, and I am using my E18 again. And I'm just going to just very lightly dot that up here at the top. And again, just a little tiny bit around the starfish. It doesn't need much because we didn't really do much with that before. But I do want it around her face a little bit. And I'm going to have to spin her again here pretty soon. Okay. Turning her again. Let's see here. So we can go out this way. Ooh, I almost went right into her face. And let's see if we can fill in some of this a little bit more by flicking. Okay, then let's do EO9. Oh, thank you, Margaret. Thank you, thank you. So here we're going to bring in a little bit more of the red again. Try not to be too precise because it's hair, right? But I also don't want to completely mess it up. Ah, baby dog. Okay. And now we'll do the YR24 as a last step over the top of it again. And the YR24 just tends to kind of grab that red and pull it in. Okay. Okay. You left a bit of the wire, and okay, that, yeah. I know. It's okay. Keep going, Chris. It's all right. Keep going because, you know, you can't mess it up. And she's a mermaid, right? I mean, it's okay. We can definitely see that it's a little darker on this side than that side. I'm feeling a little like I messed that up, but there's tips. You know, there's things you can do to fake it. Like I'm going to take my colorless blender and I'm just going to pull some of that excess dark color in there out a little bit, because I do feel like I got a little too dark, and then when it dries I'm going to add a little more of the YR15, which is kind of the orangey color that goes, you know, in there. So I'm just going to pull a little of the color out with that. It doesn't always work, but sometimes it's a trick that you can use. And in this case it seems like it's doing okay. I'm pulling a little bit out. But it's okay. I mean, I'm just going to be fine with it. Like I said, her light source is coming from this direction, right? Yeah, okay. So, I was going to say something, I forgot what it was. Let's see here, I gotta stop and think for a sec. Oh, I have a piece, I think that's a piece of hair. Maybe that's a swirl. I've always colored it as hair before, but I'm going to leave it alone and consider it like a movement around her body. But I am going to, where is my EO9? I'm going to just put one other little, I'm going to correct this little guy right here. Then I'm going to pull this curve in just a little bit since it's so dark. I want it to have sort of that definition. And maybe right here, just a little bit. And down here, just a little bit more, just so it has that definition. Okay. Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. Okay, so the last step on our pretty little Miss Mermaid would be to give her some pretty eyes. And I picked blue because my daughter has beautiful blue eyes. So I picked, this is just the B000, sorry. And I'm just going to color in this part of it so that she has pretty blue eyes. We could give her one more touch of the BG13 in her swimsuit here just to give it a little bit more definition now that it's dried a little bit. And right down here, just seeing a couple spots that I wanted to darken just a little bit. Alright, I'm not going to fuss with her much more. So let's see how she will look on our background. And let's see, so I just adore this stencil, even though I can't say it very well. I love it. So let's see, how will she look? What do you think, you guys? I do think I like the red hair with this color scheme better than the purple that I colored earlier. So that was, there's the red, and there's the purple, which is pretty too. But I like the combo of the red against the green a little bit more. So there are our two Miss Mermaids. I'll move this out of the way so you can see them side by side. And yeah, so like I said, I love this image for so many reasons. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, Bridget. But I love her hair. I mean, it's practice. It's practice. It's fun. It turns out different every single time. I actually really like how that red turned out. It's sort of a, I don't know what color I would call it, but I like it. So that's it for me tonight. Thank you, Chris, for coloring along with me. I hope you'll share what you did, and I'll get my card finished at some point in the near future and get it posted out there. So thanks a lot. I love that you guys spent your evening to be with me, and go color. Go have some fun coloring, especially with our new mermaids. Get those in the mail and have some fun with those as well. They're pretty cool. Thanks so much, everybody. I'm going to do one little last swoosh because I can see that it's bugging me. Really fast, I'm going to color this little piece of hair that I forgot right there. Ha, there we go. There it is. All right, there we go. Only a few of the oh my goodness, Kim, you're going to make me say that. Only a few of the She Sells Seashells stencils right now. Yeah, it's a super fun stencil, you guys, for using like the paste, and it's great for inking. Absolutely awesome, but it's really fun too for embossing. It's because it's got so many of the open spaces. It's just really a good one for running through your, like I have a big shop machine. It's really good for creating a raised image, and then you can color over the top of that, but it's also awesome for using the different pastes and everything. So thanks again. Great, Chris. I'll be happy to see your picture. Talk to you everybody else later. Bye.